Okay. So we are apparently we're getting into the critical stage of a loan based on the frozen assets, the frozen Russian assets. It's about 140 billion euro. Belgium has been in the way of this coming to fruition, citing legal problems, Russian retaliation, that all the risk has been put on Belgium's shoulders. There's a lot of legality speak. There's a lot of negotiation that has been happening behind closed doors. Apparently, we are reaching now a critical stage of the negotiations, and we might actually see this plan go through. We might actually see this loan happen. You countries need to individually commit billions of euros to guarantee as much as 210 billion in urgently needed loans to Ukraine, with Germany set to backstop up to 52 billion. I think Poland is said to foot 10 billion euro. According to documents obtained by Politico, the European Commission presented the eye-watering totals to diplomats last week after unveiling a 165 billion reparations loan to Ukraine using the cash value of frozen Russian assets. So basically, I guess this would alleviate Belgium's concerns if each individual nation state would shoulder part of the cost of this. The backstops, which would be divided up proportionally among countries across the bloc, are needed to secure a go-ahead on the loan from Prime Minister Bart De Wever. The Belgian leader has opposed the use of sovereign Russian assets over the concerns that his country alone may eventually be required to pay the money back to Moscow. And this dividing up between countries would definitely alleviate that concern. I apparently in England it was discussed, and we might be seeing results in a couple of days even. We'll see. I will have to really follow this up because, again, this is one of those important cards, to use Donald Trump's language, that would allow Ukraine to be more resilient, much more resilient to pressure from the United States to just fold and give Russia what it wants. Which is why the United States has been lobbying against this plan. It is important to know that the United States has been actively lobbying against this loan, saying that the frozen assets will be needed for their peace plan. Some 185 billion in frozen Russian assets are under the stewardship of the Brussels-based financial depository Euroclear, while another 25 billion is scattered across the bloc in private bank accounts. There we go. Reparation loan guarantees per country. Poland 4.9% for a 210 billion financing package that would translate into 10.3 billion financial guarantee, which is basically what I said. I suppose Germany will shoulder the biggest guarantee, 24%, 51.3 billion. Germany will be the heaviest guarantor. The per-country totals may go up, however, if Kremlin-friendly countries such as Hungary refuse to join the initiative, which is almost guaranteed, by the way. Hungary is almost, even though Hungary is only asked to shoulder 1.2%. I still believe that Hungary will definitely find a way to opt out of this. There's a possibility that Slovakia might do it as well. And there's, I believe, a not small chance that the Czech Republic might want to opt out as well, but we'll see. We'll just have to see. Hungary is not the only pro-Russian European country at the moment. Though non-EU countries may help if they choose by covering some of the overall guarantee. Norway had been mooted as possible candidate until its finance minister Jens Stoltenberg distanced Oslo from the idea. Of course. Finland, what a... Norway. Is Finland going to? Norway, disappointment. Latvia, Finland, 1.5% from Finland. Sweden. Interesting. That is an interesting breakdown. Yes, Norway has distanced itself, of course. Ukraine faces a budget shortfall of 71.7 billion next year and will have to start cutting public spending from April, unless so that would be teachers' salaries, pensions, nurses, what have you. It's all the... We've talked about this before. All those necessary jobs, all those necessary things to keep the country running. Hungary on Friday vetoed issuing new EU debt to plug Kyiv's budget gap, putting the onus on leaders to convince the Weaver to support using Russian assets. When EU leaders meet on December 18th, rather than dipping into their own national coffers. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz was in Brussels on Friday evening to reassure the Weaver that Germany would provide 25% of the backstop, the largest share of any country. We had a very constructive exchange on this issue, Merz said after dining with the Belgian leader. Belgium's particular concern about the question of how to make use of frozen Russian assets is undeniable and must be addressed. Ukraine's financial gap. I think we might finally be seeing some breakthrough when it comes to the topic of frozen Russian assets, and I'm certainly looking forward to that. What can I say? I've been very worried that Ukraine would end up without the financial support, and that would put it in a far worse situation than it is now when it comes to negotiation. But it seems like we might finally be seeing some breakthrough. I think this should be a very good argument to persuade Belgium to give the green light to go ahead with the loan.